Hello world, what's up my friends? I go by Honeybee and I am a love alchemist, love guide. I'm here to help you shift your consciousness and chemistry around love, relationships, how you show up, how you love, how you accept love, how you magnetize it, and all the things that have to do with love. So I myself have been on this journey to the VITA methodology so that I can learn to be a VITA coach, which VITA stands for Vital Integral Tantric Approach. I've always been interested in tantra, if you will, and I've always been very curious about love, sex, intimacy, the things that make us feel the most passionate. If we're being serious, sex is one of the most creative energies on this planet. So when we tap into that and we tap into ourselves, we could be super powerful, amazing manifestors, if you want to believe in that, because you should, when you're in a frequency of feeling so enlightened, heightened, elevated, and in your joy. Have you ever realized that when you're like really self-sabotaging or being in your own patterns of self-destruction, that you tend to bring about more negative energy? And I love the sciences of Mike Dooley, the law of attraction. I love all of those. And I like to combine those philosophies with love alchemy, with tantra, with tradition, with all of that. So this is a journey for me, and I wanted to start sharing it on the YouTube channels, on the TikToks, all the social medias, because this is the only way that I can feel seen or heard, since I feel like recluding in my house, reclusing and staying inside most of the time, not because I don't want to be with people, but it's because I myself am going through my deep healing journey around love. Which brings me to the topic of trauma. And so I had recently posted that we were going to jump into a trauma class with Corey from our VITA methodology. And there is so much that I can't begin to share in this realm right now. But to start talking about it, at least right here, right now, is my version of beginning to talk about it. And this is important for me. It's important for me because I almost chose death over life. I had hit rock bottom in my relationships, my family dynamic, just everyone around me in my life. I had been suffering for a long time. And I would cry in puddles of my own tears on the ground of my family's house, on the wooden floors. And the only relief that I felt was that. Ooh, I sneezed. The only relief that I felt after being so heated and screaming and throwing tantrums and releasing anger and aggression because my family had been fighting, and that's just the beginning of the iceberg, right? The story. But I would lay on the ground in puddles of my own tears, and the cool feeling of my own puddle of tears helped cool me down and bring me to the present moment. And my breath and how after throwing a tantrum and listening to the sounds of my breath, all of that was like, whoa, you really hit rock bottom. Like you've literally hit rock bottom, in the sense that I was the lowest to the ground and I was laying in a pile of my own tears. And of course, you don't know all the stories. I can sit here and talk about every single story of how my family dynamic was and how I felt unsafe in my house and how I didn't love how my parents treated each other. I actually would hide. And I know this is hard to share because my family might listen to this. But the truth of the matter is, there's more people in this world than not that don't come in a happy package, fairy tale, Pleasantville scenario. And if you're one of those people like me who've experienced traumas throughout life, things that you think are unfair and you know it, then you find yourself being really awkward in the dating realm. It could be because of the traumas. And if we just are honest with ourselves, if you have them or you think you might have them, it could be worth exploring so that you can begin to move them out of your system. You can begin to acknowledge them, to have awareness. And so one of the books that we're reading in our VITA methodology is The Body Keeps the Score. And I'm only 2 hours in this 16-hour audio. And I can tell you right now that a lot of things came up. A lot of things triggered me, and it's exactly why I found myself magnetized to this healing and these courses, and ultimately being a guide for others, because I believe life is beautiful and choosing this life path is brave and courageous, but you could do it. So, for myself, I'm a goofy person. I like weird stuff. I've never fit in the crowds at school. I was actually probably made fun of more times than not for either having saggy tits, lice on my head when really it was my psoriasis. I was called awkward. Guys wouldn't want to date me. I was like, oh, they would say like, oh, you have potential one day. And I'd be like, potential. And then I'd sit in that and be like, wow, I'm just like not cute right now. This all further perpetuated my belief system that I was unvaluable, that I wasn't worthy of love, that I couldn't have what some of the really popular girls in school and their boyfriends had, or looking at marriages beginning at an early age. I'm 35 right now. Do I have a hurry to get married? No, because I know that I want it to feel right, and I know that I want to be right in my mind and my heart and my soul to be in a devoted monogamous relationship. So lately in this course, they've been coming up. What I know is true to me that triggers me and my traumas and my anger and my aggression and my self-sabotaging notions have kept me and repelled me from love, so much so that something beautiful would come in and then the self-sabotage would just go, and you don't feel worthy about love. Or you're in a solid relationship for 3 years and then all of a sudden they leave you for somebody else that's better, right? Because they're better than me. Someone's always better than me. It's hard. It's hard to be vulnerable here in this space. It's hard to talk about these things, but I've just been being called to this space because I know y'all are out there without coming out and saying it to my face or having a blast it online. I know because I've been in the dark for a really long time. For me, the unworthiness, not feeling valuable, all of that is tied to the traumas, because someone said it best once: the issues live in the tissues. You could have a traumatic car accident and your body might still be hurting. But every time that you pass a certain intersection or a certain car, your heart starts to elevate to the way it did when you were about to get into that accident. And the body keeps the score. The book talks about those types of traumatic situations that could keep reoccurring in the body long after the event has passed. And so that's something that I wanted to share with you now, because we've all experienced it. What is trauma in love? And what that looks like could be an avoidance of love, an addiction to love, an attachment to love, a jealousy, a rage, an inability to communicate properly and effectively to the person that you love and you want to talk to about this. It could show up in sex in the bedroom. It could show up from feeling so uncomfortable in your own body and your own system that you're a no, even though it's happening to you, with you, for you, all of that. You could be having sex and be completely disconnected because you're out of your body. You're not present. So if any of this feels like it rings true or it resonates, or like, oh my gosh, I feel like you've hit it. Like, traumas in love exist because of the traumas in our lives from the past, from the past, from the past, from the past. And there are things that have happened to us. There are people out there that you can't even begin to tell the stories without feeling a deep darkness in your heart, because so many of the atrocities and sexual crimes that have happened are more frequent than you think. Way more frequent than you think. And I think this is a really good time to talk about it, because what's happening in the world now, where bombs are being dropped and the whole world in 2024 is talking about that this is a war that we're living through, but also we are at war with ourselves in these traumas that we keep reliving. So how can you start to really alchemize and turn them and shift them and become better and come out on top? And I just want to share with you that I don't have every answer here right now because it's such a complex situation, but I want to invite you into this journey with me as I sift and sort through the medicine and the remedies that have helped me through my journey and that have helped others around me in my life. And I want to begin to share that. So if you want to stay a part of this course and this journey with me, subscribe, like, save this post, send it to someone else that you think might be of service to, because you want to see the journey expand and you want to be on this journey with me. And if you know that you have traumas and that they exist in your life, you can send me a personal DM and I'm here as a friend. And really, there is no call to action. There really is no call to action to do anything other than just follow the journey. Just be present with the journey. Just hear the stories, to resonate, to let it sink in as truth to you, to know that you're not the only one out there, because you are worthy and you are valuable of your life as well. So thank you for letting me share some of the little snippets that I'll be talking about through this journey, through my own trauma-informed certification and the work that I do around sex, love, and intimacy, because I'm here for it. And I can't wait to continue to create this dynamic, these conversations, and inviting people into this space so that they can have these conversations with me. I love you all. Peace.